BlizzOrb Sorceress? Check. Sunder Charm? Check. Terror Zone? Check. Let's go, baby! 436% Magic Find on the Sorceress. The first Terror Zone was a Far Oasis, 13 runs averaging 4 minutes and 24 seconds. 57 minutes in, we find a Poison Sunder Charm. The next Terror Zone was Nilthak's Temple, 22 runs averaging 47 seconds each. 57 minutes in, we find a Destruction Key. 1 hour and 3 minutes in, we find a Destruction Key. 1 hour and 14 minutes in, we find a Sazabi's. I just like saying Sazabi. The next terrorized zone was the Crystalline Passage, 6 runs averaging 9 minutes. 1 hour and 23 minutes in, we find a Crack of the Heavens. On 1 hour and 39 minutes in, we find a 7% Magic Find Small Charm. Oh! 1 hour and 51 minutes in, we find another Crack of the Heavens. Later that run, we find Chance Guards. 2 hours and 7 minutes in, we find a nice Necro Circlet. The next terrorized zone was Auret Plateau, 11 runs averaging 5 minutes and 4 seconds. 2 hours and 52 minutes in, we find a Fire Sunder Charm. The next terrorized zone was the Frigid Highlands, 3 runs averaging 5 minutes and 34 seconds. 3 hours and 14 minutes in, we find a Fire Sunder Charm. The next terrorized zone was the Worldstone Keep, 15 runs averaging 3 minutes and 51 seconds. 3 hours and 41 minutes in, we find a Fire Sunder Charm. 3 hours and 55 minutes in, 4 hours and 11 minutes in, we find Marowaks. 4 hours and 16 minutes in, we find a unique amulet. Is it Amara's? No. 4 hours and 17 minutes in, we find a Fire Sunder Charm. The next terrorized zone was Moo Farm, 4 runs averaging 9 minutes and 1 second. 4 hours and 28 minutes in, we find a set amulet. Is it a Talami? No. 4 hours and 56 minutes in, we find a unique amulet. Is it Amara's? No. The next terrorized zone was the Durance of Hate, 15 runs averaging 1 minute and 46 seconds. 5 hours in, we find a Dracul's Grasp. The next terrorized zone was the Glacial Trail, 13 runs averaging 4 minutes and 25 seconds. 5 hours and 35 minutes in, we find a Griswold's Honor. 5 hours and 52 minutes in, we find a Druid Summoner Grand Charm. 6 hours and 1 minute in, we find a Cold Sunder Charm. Oh, so good! The next terrorized zone was the Crystalline Passage. Again, 4 runs averaging 9 minutes. 6 hours and 47 minutes in, we find a Poison Sunder Charm. The next terrorized zone was the Cold Plains. 5 runs averaging 8 minutes and 9 seconds. 7 hours and 22 minutes in, we find a Nightwing's Veil. 7 hours and 38 minutes in, we find a Fire Facet Jewel. The next terrorized zone was Moo Moo Farm, again. 6 runs averaging 9 minutes and 1 second. 7 hours and 46 minutes in, we find a Lem Rune. 8 hours and 29 minutes in, we find a magical damage Sunder Charm. Ooh, a magic resist Grand Charm. The next terrorized zone was Trav. 15 runs averaging 3 minutes and 45 seconds. 8 hours and 47 minutes in, we find a set amulet. Is this a Tal Ami? No. The next terrorized zone was Darkwood. 7 runs averaging 5 minutes and 12 seconds. 9 hours and 47 minutes in, we find a Cold Sunder Charm. Oh, cold Grand Charm, except it sucks. Here are the stats. Comparing the BlizzOrb Sorceress to a Hammerdin, it is just straight up slower. Slower here, slower here, slower here. It just doesn't win. Unfortunate. Still gonna play BlizzOrb though.